Today you're going to do Arithmetic Test 2. I would allow yourself 30 minutes to do this test, so when you're ready just pause the film and you might want to set a timer. When you've completed the test, if you restart the film, you'll see the answers. If you get any wrong, pause the film after you've seen me working it out and have another go yourself. Okay, when you're ready, pause the film. Question 1. 2 times 6, the answer is 12. Question 2. Something equals 12 times 1, the answer is 12. Question 3. 476 minus 50. I would use a mental method for this rather than a written calculation. 5 tens away from 7 tens leaves me with 2 tens. 426. Question 4. 1/3 of 30 is the same as saying 30 divided by 3, which is 10. Question 5. Something is the same as 35 divided by 1. Any number divided by 1 is itself. The answer is 35. Question 6. 1/4 of 16 means 16 divided by 4. The answer is 4. Question 7. 70 minus 42. They've shown it as a written calculation. You could have done it mentally if you wanted to. 2 away from 0 I can't do, so I need to go to my tens. 7 tens becomes 6 tens, and I bring 10 over. 2 away from 10 is 8. 4 away from 6 is 2. Question 8. 7s into 280. 7s into 28 goes 4 times. 7s into 0 goes 0. Question 9. Something plus 35 equals 81. It's a missing number calculation and it's the start of the calculation, so we need to use the inverse. 81 minus 35. 5 away from 1 we can't do, so I go to my tens. 8 becomes 7 tens and I bring 10 over. 5 away from 11 is 6. 3 away from 7 is 4. 46. 234 times by 0, anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Question 11. 5 is the same as something divided by 12. So we need to think this is a missing box calculation, so we need to do the inverse. 5 times 12 is 60. So my answer looks like this. 5 is the same as 60 divided by 12. We could have written it this way. 60 divided by 12 equals 5. Question 12. 64 plus 98. 4 add 8 is 12, put the 2 in, carry the 10. 9 add 1 is 10, and add the 6, 16, 162. Question 13. 90 multiplied by 9. But if I do 9 times 9, I get 81, and then I can put the 0 back on to give me 810. Question 14. 3/4 of 48. Step 1, 48 divided by 4. How many 4s go into 48? 12. Bring my answer down and times by the number on the top of the fraction. 12 times 3 equals 36. Question 15. 3,146 plus 5,834. 6 add 4 is 10, put the 0 in, carry the 1. 4 add 3, add 1 is 8. 8 add 1 is 9. 5 add 3 is 8. Question 16. 5 6 plus 4 6. I add my numerator, that gives me 9 6. You could also have written it as a mixed number fraction, that's 1 whole and 3 6. You could also have cancelled it down, 1 whole and 1/2. Question 17. How many 4s go into 68? How many 4s go into 6? 1 lot, remainder 2, bring it into the next column. 4s into 28, 7 times, giving me the answer 17. Question 18. 12 times 12, 144. Question 19. 7,421 minus 3,544. 4 away from 1 I can't do, so I go to my next column. My 2 becomes a 1, and I bring 10 over. 4 away from 11 is 7. 4 away from 1 I can't do, so I go to the next column. My 400s become 300s, and I bring 10 over. 4 away from 11 is 7. 5 away from 3 I can't do, so I go to the next column. My 7 becomes a 6, and I bring 10 over. 5 away from 13 is 8. 3 away from 6 is 3. 3,877. Question 20. 124 multiplied by 4. 4 fours are 16, put the 6 in, carry the 10. 2 fours are 8, and add the 1 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. Question 21. 700 minus something equals 343. It is a missing box calculation, but because it's subtraction and a missing number a second, we're going to need to do 700 minus 343. 3 away from 0 I can't do, so I go to the next column, but there's nothing there, so I go to the next column. My 700s become 600s, and I bring 10 over into the next column, so it's in the tens column. I still can't do 3 away from 0, but I can now exchange from the tens. My 10 tens becomes 9 tens, and I bring 10 over. 3 away from 10 is 7, 4 away from 9 is 5, 3 away from 6 is 3. 357. 22. 4,821 add 2,439. 9 add 1 is 10. 3 add 2 is 5 and add 1 is 6. 8 add 4 is 12. 4 add 2 add 1 is 7. Question 23. Something divided by 9 equals 34. It's a missing number calculation. We need to do the inverse. 34 multiplied by 9. 9 fours are 36. 3 nines are 27, and add the 3 is 30. So your calculation would look like this. 306 divided by 9 equals 34. We can prove it by doing the division calculation. 9s into 30 goes 3 times, remainder 3. 9s into 36 goes 4. Question 24, 265 times by 5. 5 fives are 25. 6 fives are 30, and add the 2 is 32. Put the 2 in, carry the 3 tens. 2 times 5 is 10, and add the 3 is 13. 1,325. Question 25, 4,200 minus 1,825. 5 away from 0 I can't do, but there's nothing in the next column to help me, so I go to the hundreds. 2 hundreds becomes 100, and I bring 10 over. I still can't do it, but I can now exchange from the tens column. 10 tens becomes 9 tens, and I bring 10 over. 5 away from 10 is 5. 2 tens from 9 tens is 7 tens. 8 hundreds from 100 I can't do, so I go to my thousands column. 4 thousands become 3 thousands, and I bring 10 over. 8 away from 11 is 3. 1 away from 3 is 2. 2,375. Count up your score, and don't forget to record it so you can see hopefully that your scores are improving.